So that's the only reason why we're having this, because I think that's ridiculous. Everybody knows that's ridiculous, someone to complain about that, but some things that I teach when I take teams soccer to travel, we train the kids, and I think most of us do this, but I just want to reiterate and hammer this in. Most of these guys are giving us the hotels for free, which is nice. Some we do pay for when we're doing jobs like Fred Meyer's and stuff, but most of the hotel customers, they're giving us the hotels for free, which means their staff, generally their staff isn't housekeeping. So there are times where we're in our rooms for 5 days eating pizza boxes and shit that you're eating all week long, and maybe we don't clean up. I think it's important that we kind of make a kind of like a little pact where we, at the end of the week or whenever you're leaving to be done, get all your garbage out there. Try not to make a pile of it for them to clean. I think a good idea I always teach the kids is to pull all your sheets off the bed, all your pillowcases off, put everything in a pile on the bed, put your pillows and your towels in a pile, so it's super easy for them to get in and out. Because their time is just as valuable as ours. So would you guys agree we should clean out all garbage out of the place? I think we do that, but the wall covering guys are the guys that are doing it the most. But we're starting now. Drywall and painting are starting to roll into this, and I just want to make sure that they're on the same page. That when we're done with the week, not only when we're buying hotel rooms, the same thing. It doesn't matter if you buy or not, but it just does burn a little bit more with these owners when they see. I can't stand. I've only had one phone call, but it was enough to go. It was a ridiculous reason why they were overbearing, but we need to make sure that we leave the hotels spotless when we walk out of there. It looks good on our company moving forward, and you guys individually too, because they do know now, because we give names, for who's staying in those rooms, so they'll know who the messy guys are. Who's our next? Driving. This one's an interesting one. We do get phone calls throughout the year of guys that are weaving in and out of traffic, maybe in a hurry, maybe 4 or 5 hours into their drive, and we get a call from somebody that says, "Oh, this guy's driving out of control." And whether we see it or not, or whether you did or not, we all need to be cognizant about being safe when we drive. And when I'm going places, I'm moving around a little bit. And what's unfortunate for most of you guys, especially the Vancouver painting guys, you got the logo on the side of the van, so that gives them sometimes someone might call just because they're irritated. So I had a bad day. But whether or not that's happening or not, we need to be able to make sure we're driving safe, be careful, don't be cutting people off, flying around. Make sense? We should keep track of who gets the most calls. We know who that is. That could be for next year's meeting. We could have a booby award for the guy that gets the most phone calls for being driven, and then it's something like bad. Huh? What else? What's next?
Or the most tickets is what.
I don't know if I got one. I see it.
So this is something that we kind of go over, and mainly it's with our new guys. We have the most issues, but we got to make sure, you guys are all professionals. We need to have our tools. You show up without your tools every day. Sometimes Ms. Isles having to deal with that a little bit more now instead of me, which is kind of nice. But man, you got to show up with your tools. I mean, if you don't have this list of tools, get with Sarah or Deb at the end of the day and ask for the list. Everybody here should be, most part should have. These are the painting tools, but there's a and the wall covering ones. I don't know if did we go over this with Scott? Scott and Ty, and those guys kind of help with this list of.
I did send you a list.
Yeah. So this list was kind of developed by you guys. So we want to make sure that you have. These are things that you should have every day. All right. And there are times where things break or something and we need to borrow or do whatever. And I know we all help each other out, but it's super important. The company will supply the pumps, obviously the materials, and sometimes there's some knick-knack things the guys in the vans have if something breaks down or what. But we need you guys to show up Some companies are real assholes. They'll send you home if you don't have some. I mean, a painter showing up to work without a brush, that's ridiculous. It's like a carpenter showing up without a hammer. I mean, you know, you gotta show up with tools to go to work. And I know some of the guys that are driving the vans are like, this thing's missing, or this is, you know. Even in the wall covering, there's been times where, you know, we're working in a big hotel and all of a sudden a laser's missing, or, you know, someone took my scaffolding or this scaffolding, you know, and it's irritating for guys. So just show up, be respectful, and bring your own tools. If you need those lists, though, get with these guys, because they'll show you. Those are the tools you got to have every day. Open the drapes.
Is that on drywall tools?
No. No, we're still making that one up. We're still trying to make up drywall guys, too. Everybody's a drywaller here. We good? This is Sarah?
Yep.
Now back to Sarah.
What movie is that from?
Hey, what movie is that? I was trying to think.
That's what I was trying to figure out.
Come on, win the prize. What movie is that? Huh? Yeah.
It's Nick.
What movie is that, Dan?
Yeah.
Hey, brother,
So,
right?
I'm gonna be talking about company policies, time cards, vacation pay, holiday pay, drive time, and
Yeah, that-
safety
remember
meetings.
that big brother?
So, time cards, it helps, you know, for you guys, we've changed it now, actually. We want you guys to have your time card, you're in the system by Friday night at 9 p.m. And the reason is so that our managers and supervisors and the superintendent can check over your time cards. Otherwise, he's doing it Monday morning and it kind of slows things down. So be sure that you have the correct job that you're working on. If you're not sure, ask somebody, you know, ask a coworker, ask your supervisor. If you don't know, just leave it unassigned and then write in the notes your address, wherever you are. And then we can figure it out, because sometimes they're not in the system yet. And so then we have to get on Doug and say, get that job in the system, or in the email to Denise. So we want you to do your time cards once a week. We know we pay you every 2 weeks, but we want you to put your time cards in once a week or daily. Actually, daily is the best way to do it. That way you know exactly where you were that day. Sometimes it's hard to remember at the end of the week, like, oh, where was I, you know, and, you know, what job did I do? So it's better to get in a habit of, at the end of the day, putting your time in, the job, and whatnot. And also it helps with if we're behind on getting jobs in the system, we'll know, hey, you can give us a call and let us know it's not in paychecks, and then we can figure out from there why it's not there.
Can I pop in there?
Yeah.
The reason why the time card's gotta be, we moved to the Friday is because there's guys that are checking the time, just making sure it's on the right job and everything. We were doing it on Sunday at 9,
So
and we're trying to get guys off and running on Monday morning. It was getting hard to like, okay, this, that, and then she's texting, you know, she probably spends from 8 to noon just texting people on time. And you guys know who you are, but try to get your stuff turned in on Friday. And I think daily is important.
Yeah.
You should do it in the day. And we talk about putting in little notes in there on maybe how many yards you hung or what you did that day. It helps for us when we go back and look, because we get customers that ask us, well, you know, if we're doing stuff on time and material, they ask what we did on certain days. And when I can go back and look and see, no, I have this day he put in there that he painted these door frames or what. Just little notes kind of makes it nice to review, especially when I come back and call you. We're able to review it together and it'll help refresh so we can get paid. It helps us to get paid so we can pay you guys for sure.
You want a total yardage for everybody that was hanging?
That would be, or just you individually,
Or
yeah.
just individually?
Yeah. It just helps, you know. And some days some days it's all, you're prepping all day. So you're saying, I prepped the entire corridor and we hung a couple of door drops or something, you know. Just little notes like that. Because what's cool is you're actually getting paid to put that in there in the notes. If you gotta take 5 minutes, just take 5 minutes before the end of the day and just put it in there. It really does help us in the office for sure. That's good.
So vacation pay, there's been a lot of kind of confusion sometimes about, and we did change the policy a little bit last year. Now we go from anniversary to anniversary. So on your anniversary, if you've worked an entire year, you'll get vacation pay, but there is a stipulation. You have to do at least 1,800 hours of work during that past year to get the 40 hours. And, you know, you can always talk to Doug about something if you're feeling like this isn't fair, you know. So that's every single year is the 18. We go, you know, at your anniversary, I look you guys up. I do a report on hours, and that's how, you know, they're counted. Your drive time is counted, your overtime, and your regular time, of course. So that's all counted. And after 5 years, you get 80 hours of vacation. And your vacation time needs to be approved by Doug. And there's a way to request time off on the time card as well. And if you don't know how to do that, please check with me, and I can tell you how to do that or send you. I do have a PowerPoint on how to request time off, so I could send you that too. And holidays. So for holidays, you have to work with the company at least 6 months before you get holiday pay. We pay for 4 holidays: New Year's, 4th of July, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. We want you to work the day before and the day after the holiday in order to get paid for that holiday. I have had guys that I wasn't able to pay because they decided, you know, call in sick. And I know sickness happens, so you can always talk to Doug and work those things out. But the best thing to do, you know, if you know you just don't want to work after a holiday, just request the time off. You can use your sick time for that. You can use your sick time for anything. That's another thing I was going to mention with vacation pay, because you can use your sick time to, like, if you bank it for the year, and it'll carry over. Sick time does, not vacation. Vacation pay will be dropped off if you don't use it by your anniversary date. So be sure to keep track of that, and if you haven't used your vacation pay, you want to use it before your next anniversary.
So could we collect a check that if we don't use it, it just instead of it just falling off?
No.
Could we get a, okay. But what if there's like, we're just so busy, we don't have time to vacation?
Good questions.
Well, do you want to answer that?
I got the camera on me too.
That hasn't been
Look at the
case.
cameras on me. I got everything I say is
So
legit.
we haven't been
Oh, agreed.
I've had to use my vacation.
I think those are really good questions, yes.
You know.
I think that if they don't use their vacation, I get it.
I
Make that a company policy.
And that's, I think that's a
We-
rare thing that's.
What I've done with the Estradas, because those guys work, 6,000 hours a year, they take it, I force them to take it the last. But they have dipped into the next year, like the first week of January. I'll do last week in December, first week of January. So
When our slow time is.
I like to, like what they've done with our companies, get it more legit and just, make sure we're taking care of you guys. There is always a little way we can bend the needle a little bit, like
Just talk with you.
because we're getting ready to do a run that, your next vacation's June. I'm joking. We're gonna have some time, but the next time
Well,
off.
that's good.
It's
2 years.
Yeah, like June is the next, and maybe not even then, but I'm just saying June's the next, where I can, yeah, we work 40-hour weeks.
Yeah,
So-
so just talk with Doug then if you're
Yeah.
having extenuating circumstances.
I'm not gonna let you say, yeah, you don't get it, too bad. Go to work.
I-
It is the rule, but
It's
there
never
is,
happened, and
yeah.
it probably won't.
No.
But,
well, it has, the Estrada that we were running on the end, we had to do some creative stuff there.
Yeah.
We made them clean the office and do some things on vacation.
sorry for throwing it out.
Any other questions? Okay, and drive time. There seems to always be a little bit of question about how we do drive time. So you have to go at least 100 miles to be paid for that drive time. So, you know, sometimes it may take you, like what we do is how we calculate it, how we, you know, give you the time, is we'll put the address from JCW from the shop to the address that you have gone to work at. And then the miles in there, and it usually gives us how long it should take somebody and to get there. And so that's how we do drive time. And so sometimes it may take you a little bit more, but if it takes 4 hours and 45 minutes, we're going to give you 5 hours. If it takes, if it takes 2.5 hours and you put 3 hours, we're going to bump it back to 2.5. So that's kind of how we've been doing it. And so, and I know there can be another, extenuating circumstances, like if there's an accident and like Michael Moulton's on the road right now, there was a bad accident in Tacoma, and so it's taken him a long time to get down here. So we'll probably pay him for that, because it's taken him overly amount of time. So, so just if there's any issues, please talk to us. But we try to be fair, and we give you guys drive time. And the passenger gets paid as well in the drive time. And anything you want to add, Doug?
No,
No?
sounds good.
Okay. Safety meetings. I know we've changed that up quite a bit this year by sending out emails. And the reason we are doing that is because when I was giving it to the supervisors, managers, superintendent, there were times when some guys didn't even, like I talked to Paco and he said, I haven't had a safety meeting in 6 months because he's out on his own a lot of times. And so, we decided this would be the best way to get the meetings to everybody. So what I try to do is I send out, I first send it to the supervisors, superintendent, managers, and I ask all of them to get with all of you guys. And the best practice is on a Monday morning before the week starts. Just get that safety meeting over with, take about 10-15 minutes. And you guys can follow along on your phone, because I've emailed everyone. So I email everybody all the safety meetings for the month. And then at the end of the month, I send out an Adobe sign, and it's for all of the safety meetings that I've sent out for that month. And I don't always get them back from everyone, and I don't know why, but we're having to.
Is it capturing a bigger audience than the last way we were doing it?
Yeah, it is capturing a bigger audience, and we do get a lot of them back, but there's still some that I never see. So I'm not sure why that's happening. But we do have to report training hours to the authorities. And so that's part of your training is safety meetings. And it's really important that we do safety meetings because, well, in fact, we've had 2 incidences with ladders since March, we've had 2. So it's really important, guys, that you guys read these safety meetings, that you get together, supervisors and superintendents and managers, get with your people and sit around on a Monday morning before you start your work, and you can count this as time too, and just go over the safety meetings.
Let me explain to you guys why we do it too. So when we have an incident, it could be a guy that just cut himself, real simple incident. First thing OSHA asks is for our meeting minutes. And luckily we have everything digital. We can email links and stuff. So if you don't have that, the fines are, I think it's 8 or 10 grand right to start. So it could be a simple little incident could turn into pay. So that's why Sarah's being real stingy about making sure we And there is benefits to refreshing our memories on, you know, not standing on the very top of a ladder or doing, I know there's sometimes we do some crazy stuff, but, you know, if you're not comfortable doing something, you just don't do it, because that's when someone usually gets hurt. That's the biggest thing.
And if you feel you need help with sturdying a ladder, just, you know, ask somebody to help. Just, they can hold it for you while you need to do what you need to do.
If there's anything out there that's broke, we need to know.
Yeah.
As a holler eye, you know, things wear down. You know, there's a ladder out there that's not safe, or paint hoses and stuff. We're usually pretty good about that, but just let us know. We throw that stuff away. Not worth someone getting hurt on it for sure.
So your Adobe sign at the end of the month, that comes right back to me. You just sign it and it automatically comes back to me. It's super easy. So if you're not getting those, let me know and we can figure it out. Because I use the email that you guys put on paychecks. And
DocuSign's easy too.
Yeah,
I do
DocuSign's
it daily
super
with stuff, so
yeah.
you know, it's literally a few seconds. Click, 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 click. Out. So
And there was something else I was going to say. And
I messed you up, didn't I?
no, you're fine. Well, it'll come to me. I think next is open enrollment. So I handed out pamphlets, and if we ran out, we gave you the actual thing. So I just wanted to, first of all, I'm going to try to get a link on here to explain what a deductible is. So just bear with me for a minute.
If you have a health insurance plan or you're in the market for insurance, you may be feeling a bit overwhelmed and maybe confused by all the terms being used. Copay, deductibles, premiums, coinsurance, individual out-of-pocket maximum. Add the fact that many of these can vary widely based on the coverage or plan, and you've got a lot to wrap your mind around. In this video, we're going to break down and demystify these essential health insurance terms, explain how the costs work for both you and your insurance company, and hopefully make you feel a bit more confident about how your plan works. So let's get started. Sort of the view from 10,000 feet is that there are 3 levels of healthcare costs, and the higher your costs for the year, the higher up you go. Level 1, level 2, level 3. On level 1, you pay for everything. When your healthcare expenses get to a certain point, you enter level 2, where you and your insurance company share the costs. And if the money you're paying out of pocket hits your plan's cap, then you enter level 3, where your insurance will cover everything further. We'll circle back to this at the end, and it'll all make a little more sense. Now, whether your health insurance is provided through your employer plan, through somebody else's employer plan, or government-issued plan like Medicare or Medicaid, they all have a set amount for premiums, deductibles, copay, and coinsurance. These are all terms that represent your out-of-pocket costs. If you don't know what those figures are for your policy, contact your insurance company to request a copy of your policy. Now, I just threw a bunch of terms at you. Let's define these suckers. Premium. Think of your premium like a monthly subscription fee, like your Netflix subscription. This is how much you pay each month to keep your insurance active. And you pay this even if you never go to the doctor. Just like with Netflix, even if you don't watch anything, you're still paying your subscription, right? Deductible. Your deductible is an amount specified by your plan that you have to pay in a given year before your insurance pays a dime. For example, if your deductible is set at $4,000 and the bill for your visit to the hospital was $2,000, you have to pay 100% of that bill. Bummer. But if your deductible is set at $4,000 and the hospital bill is $8,000, insurance would kick in to help cover half of that bill. Notice that I said it will help. More on that later. The good news is that this is an annual deductible, meaning that once you've paid that amount towards covered medical expenses, you don't have to pay it again until your plan resets. Often this is on January 1st, but that's not always the case. You should check with your insurance provider. When shopping for health insurance, it's great to look for a plan with a low deductible. However, there is of course a trade-off. Plans that feature a low deductible come with higher monthly premiums, while plans with lower monthly premiums have high deductibles. So why choose one over the other? Well, it comes down to what you anticipate your usage will be. If you usually go for 1, maybe 2 doctor's visits per year, you probably want a high deductible with low premiums. These are often referred to as catastrophic coverage plans because they aren't going to kick in until something really significant or catastrophic happens. On the other hand, if you visit the hospital a lot or you have some upcoming procedures, then you probably want to go with a high premium, low deductible plan. If you have a health insurance usage history, you can use that to help determine which kind of plan is going to be best for you. Copay. Your copay is a set cost that you pay for a covered healthcare service, such as visiting an in-network doctor, a specialist, or buying drugs. Let's say you go to see your doctor who charges $250 for an office visit, but your insurance has a copay of $50 for doctor's visits. You pay $50 and your insurance picks up the rest. Well, hold on a second. How do copays work if I haven't met my deductible yet? Because copays are paying for some of your medical expenses. Doesn't that not kick in until after you hit your deductible? Well, confusingly, it depends on your policy. So that's something you really want to check on. Here's a tip. Your insurance will likely have a list of preventative care benefits that they'll cover at 100%. No copay, no deductible, no coinsurance. These often include vaccines and many types of screenings. So take advantage of those. Coinsurance. Remember when I said that insurance would help cover costs that exceed your deductible? That's where coinsurance comes in. Coinsurance is a shared cost between you and the insurance company. So depending on your policy, it may say that after your deductible, you pay 20% and your insurance company pays 80%. That's called an 80-20 policy. Now for the ease of math, let's say you have a 50-50 policy with a $4,000 deductible, and you just had an $8,000 ER visit. You pay the first $4,000 to meet your deductible, and then the second $4,000 would be split 50-50, meaning you paid $2,000 of that. So for that $8,000 ER visit, you'd be out $6,000. Individual out-of-pocket maximum. Out-of-pocket is the amount of money that you pay. This includes your copays, doctor's visits, coinsurance, deductibles, drugs, and the out-of-pocket maximum is your plan's cap on how much you have to personally pay towards your healthcare costs. After you hit that maximum, 100% is covered by your insurance. Family out-of-pocket max. Based on what individual yearly out-of-pocket is, you can probably guess this one. It's the cap on the medical costs for a whole family. Now let's bring back the 3 levels example from the beginning. Now you start on level 1, paying basically everything out of pocket. That is until you reach your deductible, and that's when you go to level 2. And that's where you're splitting the cost with your insurance company through coinsurance. If your medical expenses get so high that the total of what you paid reaches your yearly out-of-pocket maximum, you move to level 3, where all further healthcare expenses for the rest of the year are 100% covered by your insurance plan. When your plan resets for the year, you start back at the beginning. Usually this happens on January 1st, but some plans differ on their reset date. If you're still feeling unsure about what this all means or about your financial responsibility for your covered services, your local healthcare facility can often help you obtain and understand this information, especially when considering an upcoming service or appointment. Hopefully this video has helped you feel a little more comfortable with the costs involved in your health insurance. Thanks for watching.
Okay, so for Kaiser, we have 3 different plans. The first one is your Platinum plan, and like he was saying on there, and I had handed out, I hope everybody got a little packet thing. And so for the Kaiser plan, for the Platinum, it's 0 deductible, which is a really nice plan. And then your out of pocket for the year is only $2,000. So it's after you pay, like there are co-pays and things you do have to pay for some of the like hospital visits and things like that. So just look through it, and plus I wanted to talk about the plus. So the plus means that you can go to an out-of-network doctor, or let's see, I think prescriptions are also included in that, but I would have to look at that again. I think it's 10 services, like if you have a favorite doctor and you don't, and you know, let's say you just moved to Kaiser and you're going like, I miss my doctor, you know, and you have 10 visits a year that you can use through the plus out of network. So if you want to know any more about that, let me know. I can help you figure it out. So that's what the plus is, and each plan has a plus and each one is the same. You get 10 visits outside of network. So then the gold plan is $1,000 deductible, still really good plan. And then, let's see, I don't remember what the out-of-pocket maximum is $8,200. And then the silver is $3,000 deductible. And I think it's only $8,500. But they all have the plus, which is really nice. So, if you have any questions about that, let me know.
Sarah?
Yeah.
We mentioned the vision too. They all have the vision. That's what the VX is.
Yeah, okay, the X.
The VX.
The VX. The VX is vision, so it all has vision. And if you want to get your family on this, let me know. Next is well, I didn't talk about the dental. There is the dental through Kaiser as well, and that's a little more, but it's not much. It's like almost $10 now a payroll for dental through Kaiser. So we have the principal volunteer benefits. We offer a dental choice, so you can go through principal for dental, or you can go through Kaiser. If you have a dentist you really like, then principal it would be the way to go. And then it also offers vision, voluntary term life, voluntary accidental death and dismemberment, and accident insurance. I believe I have all 5 of these. But I would really encourage you guys to take advantage of this, because it's low cost, and I think any extra protection for yourself or your families, like getting an insurance that if something happens to you, or even the accident insurance, that's if you get in an accident, it's more, it's just an added thing to help you and to help your family. So, and those are 100% paid by you, except for the dental. But like I said, they're low cost. Take a look at the, you should have each gotten a summary of each one with the cost of it for the employee. So this is open enrollment, which means this is the time to sign up for the year. And the only way that you could get on the insurance after open enrollment is if there's a qualifying life event, like you got married or you had a baby. Also, if you lose coverage, you can also get on the plan after that. So it's a good idea to sign up if you think any of that, is gonna happen. And required paperwork. So if you wanna sign up for any of these, let us know. We have enrollment forms, and we'd like them filled out today. If you're declining the health care, we have those forms as well. So just let us know. I think I'm ahead of time, aren't I? Yeah, by quite a bit.
Sign up for it if you haven't already. If you're not in the plan, you guys have a pretty awesome setup that most companies don't have, in that you have the match puts dollar for dollar on the first 3% you put in, and then 50 cents on the dollar on the next 2. Meaning, if you guys save 5% of your check, the company kicks in another 4 on top of it. So most companies don't kick in that much. Also, most companies, if they are putting money in for you, you got to be there 5 or 6 years until you actually own it. And you guys, it's yours, second hits your account. So if you switch jobs later, everything that they've put in for you goes with you. If you haven't had a 401k before, it's basically something the government set up to get us to save. They don't want us to be 80 and broke, because that sucks and it's a big problem. So they put bells and whistles on this thing to get us to use it. It's a good enough deal that they figure we're going to want to save, and then over the course of our career we can build up a pile of money such that when we're retiring we take a little bit out of the pile, take Social Security, and now we have money coming in and we're not working anymore. And that's the basic premise. Basically, when money goes into a 401, it goes in before taxes. So if you make 50 grand and you put $1,000 into your 401, IRS says you made 49. So like anything that goes into the plan, it's off the grid for the IRS. They can't charge us taxes on it. Once it's in there, it's under an umbrella where the IRS can't ding it every year. And it's a more passive benefit that we don't really notice, but it's a huge deal long term, hundreds of thousands of dollars long term, big deal. If I took money out of my bank and went and bought Amazon stock with it in a normal account, non-401k account, or you get interest on the money you have at the bank, whatever, at the end of the year the IRS says, how much money did you make? You have to tell them, and then they say, good for you, but you owe us part of that. 401, they can't do that. It's off limits to them. So that lets it pile on itself, and you fast forward 20, 30 years, you got a big old pile of money. And then when you retire, you start taking it out, it's taxed as income at that point later. So if you're taking out $2,000 a month from the pile, they treat it the same way as if you're working and earning $2,000 a month. Same thing. 401 is about the safest place legally we can have our money. If I get in a wreck on the way home and I get sued, they could go after my house, my bank, kids' stuff. They can't go after my 401k. So you could go bankrupt. They can't go after your 401. That is off limits to everybody. It is the safest place legally we can keep our money. If you sign up, by default, you get put into an autopilot mix based on your age. If you're 25, it's gas pedal to the floor. It's going to be real aggressive. You'll be full of Amazon, Google type of stuff, super aggressive growth type of stuff. And if you're 60, they figure, hey, he's probably going to retire next few years. We're not going to be super aggressive. So by default, when you sign up, you just get put into a mix based on how old you are. And as you get older, they turn the risk dial down as you get closer to retirement. If you want my opinion, I just bugged her about it. I'm happy to pick and choose what investments you want to do. If you got an old account somewhere else you used to work, you want help lumping that into this one, I can help you do that. And yeah, again, if you have any questions on anything else, non-401k, we can talk about that too. But just at a high level, company's budgeted money, stamped your name on it, 4% of your income is in the budget. If you make 50 grand and you put in 5%, you get $2,000 from the company in matching to your account that's instantly yours that it hits. If you're not using the 401k, you are pushing that money back across the table and saying, no thank you. So it just, if you can swing it, it's worth looking at. I have people tell me sometimes like, well, I've got to pay off my truck, then I'll put in the 401. Then I got money in the budget, then I can put in the 401. So what's your interest on your truck loan? It's 15%. All right. But if you put in $50 and it's 90 out of the gate, you got an 80% return. So you pay the truck instead of your 401, you are paying a bank interest 12, 15% instead of getting 80% in your pocket. It's like if you can swing it, pay yourself first. If you can't, put that on your to-do list, like as top priority. When I'm doing financial planning for people, step one is get every cent out of your match. Then go after high interest debt. Then put money away for something you're saving for if you are. Build up an emergency fund. Then circle back to your 401 and turn the dial up if you can. But man, get your match if you can. That's a high note. I could talk for an hour and I'm not going to because it started at 4. But again, I do try to be pretty easy to get a hold of. I've been working for you guys for probably 12, 13 years now. A lot of you I haven't met before, but I am on tap for anything you guys want. You don't get a bill to do financial planning or anything else. So if you'd find it helpful, do reach out to me.
Is there a max that you can put into that?
Yeah, there is. So the IRS, if you're under 50, it's 23 grand. If it's over 50, it's 30 grand. So that's it. You could pile a lot
year.
of money away into it.
Per
if you
year.
want.
Per year.
Per year. Yeah.
Thank you, Shane.
Yeah, you bet.
Thank you.
Quick.
To do the fun stuff now. But before we do the actual raffle, so I thought it would be really great to, hello.
Listen up, guys, listen up. We got trips to the Bahamas.
I thought it'd be really great to reward those guys who've been consistent about putting their time in. I don't have to nag them. They put their time in, and we are rewarding them with a $100 gift certificate to a restaurant. So
Names on these?
names are on the table too.
See, I don't even know who these guys are. I only know the bad boys, when they don't do anything. Tyler Heath, oh, yes, come on up.
Come on up, Deb.
You win. Oh, come on now. Take your wife out to dinner.
Well, thank you guys, I
Yeah.
appreciate it, seriously.
Larry Grady, yes. They're doing their time cards together.
Appreciate it.
No worries. Scott Gravel. Oh.
I tried.
Come along, please, for technology. Paco. God, you're the time card. Matt Washer. God, you're good. Well, it should be Gene Washer because he does your time card, doesn't he? No? Oh, that's not a nice son. Joe Smith. Well done. I thought this was a great idea when she brought it up because we probably could have gone maybe, I don't know, we did 6. And sometimes we hammer on you guys a lot, the ones that are struggling at it. And I thought maybe this was a good idea to do something on the positive side of time cards. Because I'll tell you, payroll is a nightmare. It just is. But I mean, it's a 40-hour, plus job for a person to do. And when she's chasing down time cards, it's a nightmare. So, congrats to you guys that you 6 that won. Maybe you can take me out to dinner or something.
Yeah, and thank you ladies for putting up with this.
You're welcome. Okay, we have 6 of these. We'll start out with
So we're
these.
doing nine total? All right, here's where we're raffling off. What was this thing again?
It's
Like a
like
little multi-tool? A little multi-tool? We
Yeah.
got 6 of these coming out. We gotta go back in, don't we?
Huh?
I wanna make sure someone doesn't get it twice, right?
No, that's fine. If they
All
get
right,
it twice,
first
they get it
up.
twice.
What's that?
If they get another
Okay.
prize, that's fine.
Robert Braddock.
Alrighty.
All right.
Thank you.
You'll leave it on the ground soon enough.
Josh Trujillo. Come on up.
Oh,
Let's do a somersault. Yeah, you got it. I got an extra one right here. Gene Washer. Broken finger guy.
not right now.
That wasn't a job site. That wasn't a job site. Grab Gene twice.
I'm gonna start walking my dog out the dog.
Corey Simpson, is he here? Oh, he's in.
Corey, it's been a while since I saw you.
Paco, the double winner.
Hey!
Yay. How many more we got left there?
One more.
Last one of these. Tyler Heath, 2
Hey,
for 2.
2 for 2.
You and Paco are in the running for the double.
He's got nothing.
So these three are
These are it's
Jason Tolson.
$50 gift certificate to a restaurant.
That's all right, I'll get it later.
Joel Trujillo.
Hey.
Take your little sweetheart out for a little night. Well, we can't do 2 winners. And Scott's already won. He can't win
That's
twice.
okay.
You can't? Okay. Scott Gravel, another double winner.
Double winner.
Winner, chicken dinner.
That's it.
All right, hey, one last, we're almost got you guys out of here. Hey, I think, if you look at the growth, the growth of where, you know, there's a lot of new faces. There's some guys that have been here many and many years, but the growth of where Vancouver Painting Inc. to Vancouver Paint Group, and now we have Vancouver Drywall, Hooten, and you know, and where and Gene, you've been here probably one of the longest, and Ed, you know, some of our guys have been here a super, 20 years, in some cases, almost 20 years. When you see the growth of where, from when my dad was doing something like this to having these ladies being able to put something together like this is crazy. I'm sitting back there going, where we've come from is it's wild. And, I think we should give the ladies a hand for what they did put together. Because I know sometimes these things can be a little bit, some of you guys are wanting to get, we have people wanting work done. We had to take time. There was one customer they wouldn't allow us to, but there's, some of the customers are a little irritated because it was like, hey, we have to take a time and take care of this. So, and these are hard to do, but if you see the time that's taken to put into this, it's important, it's got to refresh some things and kind of, we're getting ready to, I know, back in the old days, we would be winding down this time of year, going into winter, but we're getting ready to go crazy. So we have 12 hotels coming, 2,146 guest rooms to do, and 90 corridors to do, and lobbies and all, all the goods. That's just that work. That's not our normal stuff that we're gonna be doing. So, and that's from now till May. So it's gonna be a wild fall and winter, but that's nice. That's a good thing, because going into Thanksgiving and Christmas, and we're gonna be working, because the economy is not showing that otherwise. The economy's struggling right now. A lot of people are starting to look for work. So we have ads going right now, and we're probably 100 people to look at right now that are just wanting to work. So I'm happy that we talked about this last October. I thought it was gonna happen sooner, but last year at this time, or was it last September, August, we talked about, hey, I don't know what the future's holding. It depends how the elections go, but I still think whoever gets in office is gonna be tough. So, but I'm happy that we're loaded, and I'm just gonna keep loading it up. That's all, to make sure that we're working. So I appreciate all you guys do. You're the face of our company out in the field, and I appreciate everything you guys do.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.